What's up, everybody? Dark Knight 316, Rubber Rilla Gaming, and this is the Roundtable Podcast. Alright, so
before we begin, though, you gotta remember, subscribe.
Yes.
Make sure you get this channel up.
Yeah.
Make sure we talk about gaming news. Look at this. Yep. Activision 33.
Yeah.
So subscribe, like, share. But before we begin our news, what are we drinking?
Yeah, what are we drinking? So you brought me this time this Ultra Vice Guava from Monster Energy.
And then I'm drinking the Zero Ultra that's really cold in my hand right now. So let's try that.
All right. Ooh, that's a nice sound it made.
Whatever happened to put it in our mugs.
Yep. Alright, so what have you been playing?
I have sadly been failing a 30 for 30 platinum, which I have not been doing well in, and yeah, that's about where I'm at. So right now I'm trying to go through Siphon Filter 1. I'm about halfway through that game.
Well, you're sticking with just classics, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to just do randos, you'd probably have it done by now.
And this is where I think it gets a little bit tough because, like I was telling you, before we were filming stuff, like a lot of the games, because the controls are bad, they're like not as good. But then also, you think that the time frame of the games, some of these games take 10, 15 hours, got missables. And it's like they're not even, there's not a lot of classic games that you can play in like a 3-4 hour period and be able to stack them that are actually fun. Some of the games I played were good, some of them I didn't like. So,
well, you gotta think back in the day on the PlayStation, the OG. When they first started out, it didn't have a DualShock controller, so all those had to be with the regular up, down, left, right. And then also, they had to make games long and stuff for you to do because they wanted the value of the game to make it for you to buy it. So that's kind of the stuff that it is. Nowadays, they just put all that stuff in there just to be busy work.
See, I think I wouldn't say it's easier because it is a tough challenge, but I think it would have been much easier if, like, I was able to play, whatever, like, under 10, 15 hours. Play whatever game, PS4 or 5, because there are some games on PS4 and 5 you can play that are, under that hours I could probably more than likely complete. So.
Yeah, well, it probably also would have been easier if if Sony didn't patch in where you couldn't use the cheats on the Siphon Filter. It's already in the game. Yeah. They should have just let you use it, but they don't let you use it, so. But, alright, so PlayStation has every year their yearly wrap-up that they do for your account. So if you don't know, you could go to wrapup.playstation.com, put in your account information, your username and all that, and it will come up with your yearly wrap-up. So it came up with my 5 top games.
Okay.
And my number 1 top game is the Suikoden 1 and 2 collection, which that's what was my favorite game growing up, so I'm glad that was my number 1 game.
So that's in my top 5.
It also said I spent 163 hours in that game, so...
Man, you must have been slow, because it took me much quicker.
My second game was Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. That took 133 hours. Then, number 3 is the game that's the most popular game out right now, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Took 126 hours. Then, round up in part 4 is Dragon Quest 3. That took me 102 hours. And then the lowest one, which I thought I spent more hours in, but apparently not, was the Grandia HD collection. Took me 90 hours. Those were my top 5.
Dang, that's again 90 hours?
Yes.
Wow.
For both games, both games combined.
See, and then this is why I think I enjoyed probably this last couple of years, but I've enjoyed going through this wrap up and platinuming games because I've been playing through RPGs, and lately, like I remember a couple of years ago, like I'd play through an RPG and just get burnt out. Like I'm tired of RPGs, whatever. But this year, I've just been playing RPGs and enjoying them. Probably the reason why I haven't hit a lot of my platinum goals. But my first game is Eugene Chronicles 100 Heroes.
Yeah, that was a good game.
It took me 84 hours to beat. So such a good game.
So your top 5 have not even cleared 100 hours
They didn't even
yet?
clear 100 hours.
Dang.
Nothing of mine cleared 100 hours, but
Dang.
Eugene Chronicles 100 Heroes, 84 hours. And I tell you too, this game, I played it with all the heroes once I got them all, but aside from some of the side stuff, like this game's really good. I still don't think it's as good as Suikoden, but it's a really good game if you like the Suikoden type. Number 2, at 84 hours, which is weird because I just recently played this game, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Such a good game. Like I said too, same thing with this one. Side quest stuff. If you don't like it, it's not gonna do good. Number 3 was the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster, 77 hours. Another one of those with side quests that can totally annoy you and break your platinum run. Number 4, Expedition 33 at 66 hours, which we pretty much played the exact same games right there. And then number 5 with 60 hours is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. So those are my top 5.
Yeah, and
RPGs.
If you didn't guess, my gaming style was role playing.
So was mine.
It said I spent 84% of my game forging legends through epic quests.
See, mine it said 71%. So
Yeah.
I played at least every 7 out of 10 games I played were RPG games. So
Yeah, and so on the system, I spent a total of 1,124 hours of gaming.
dang.
1,119 of those, though, were on the PS5. The rest of them were on the PS4. So I only spent 5 hours on my PS4. The rest, 1,119 hours were on the PS5.
So I played 73 hours on the PS4. Probably those where I played Eugene Chronicles. But what's interesting though is I played 659 hours on the PS5.
Yes.
But only 581 sessions. So you figured in order for so I would have logged in 581 times, and maybe on average a little over an hour or two.
Yeah.
I wish they would have told. Like, I played a total of 65 games.
Yeah, so the other session could have been looking at the store, doing all that stuff.
So you think though, like me, I mean, that's still a lot of hours compared, when you're working and stuff like that. But it's not a.
So they showed on there, which I don't know how they do it, but they showed that my favorite controller is the Spider-Man controller.
I don't know where. Mine is the Chroma Pearl, which I do remember that because remember I need a new controller.
Yeah, but I don't know how they check it. I guess when you
update it, I think
when you update the controller, I guess it knows exactly which one, which is crazy. And then
and let's go with
it said I've been a Plus member for 14 years. How long have you been a Plus member?
I don't know if I took that.
It's over on the other side.
This one.
Keep going. Go again. Go again. It was up at the top.
I probably don't
you
have
didn't cut it
that.
off.
But I remember it was like 13 years or something like that.
All right, so
It's been a
for
pretty
your
long
platinum, I had 59 platinums this year.
I only had 49.
So I had 10 more platinums than you.
Yep, which is weird because.
And then my first trophy of the year in January was the platinum for Final Fantasy 16.
That's that's about as far as I got with my screenshots, but mine was Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
So
then, so it says I played 66 games, total 2,177 trophies.
but my level increased by 20.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went from 890 to 910.
That's cool.
So
My one, where's mine at? Mine increased 25 levels. How many jurors
mine
increased?
was only 20.
20.
Oh, I need to put this. I don't know if I can
yeah.
copy that.
But
from
so
code.
that was our yearly wrap up. You should try that. So it's interesting to see, and then
We'll drop it in the description if you haven't got it, where you could log in to be able to do your wrap up.
yeah, and then so our next one is we give our game of the year before we go to the game awards and reveal what won the game of the year, we're going to go select our own. So, I have over here my game of the year. Like I've been saying in all the previous episodes when this game came out, as if you could see it, is Expedition 33. Now this one here's the Lumiere edition, but any edition will do. But Clair Expedition 33 is, in my opinion, the best game that came out this year. That one was a surprise hit. Two, it was one that I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, because a lot of games that Robert Wheeler Gaming requests that says, oh, this is a good game, oh, this is a good game, is not a good game. It's usually boring or is not really that great. But when he was telling me this and he was like, oh, this is like the old school turn RPG and stuff like that, like you got to check it out. So I saw the trailer. I was like, I'll go check it out. And then I couldn't put it down because I was like, oh, this is actually great game on it, and it had a really good story and everything, and a lot of surprises that I wasn't expecting on there.
I would say a lot of the games I played this year, like especially that were RPGs, a lot of them, I would say like I played them and actually couldn't put them down. There were a couple I did, but there were a lot like this year that I played through that was just probably the reason why I played so many RPGs, but I would play it and I could just stick with it. Because usually when I play an RPG, I'll play maybe the first 10 hours and be like, I'm tired. Like, I'll give you an example. The Atelier Yumia, I played it, and I played probably, I want to say like 20 hours I was in that game. And I maxed out all my characters because I bought the DLC where you get like extra experience. And I already maxed them out like at the beginning of the game. And then I got bored of it because I was like, this game's like super easy. And so I never got through the platinum, which I want to go back to do. So this is where I got a little like nervous, because I was like, well, if I play Expedition 33, what if there's a part I get stuck on or I don't like, and then but no, every time like I got drawn in, and I remember telling you, I was all, do you feel like you're at the point where you're bored of the game yet? And you were like, no. Like, you keep playing it. Even at the end when you're trying to beat Simon.
Yeah, with the super boss.
And you're like, oh, well, what can I do? And you figure out how to be able to do it. And so, I think this is a game I want to go back to and play when I, like, retire from Platinums. Just to get back in there, kind of, just play through games again, like normal. But this is a game I want to go through, New Game Plus it and things like that. So I can't wait.
What was your game of the year?
Now, I'm going to be getting your channel a lot of hate for my game of the year. Mine is Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles.
That wouldn't give any hate. That's a good game,
because, it's not Expedition 33, but that's my favorite game of all time. But I will tell you this, playing through Final Fantasy Tactics was one of those that I enjoyed every second I played of that game. Even though I built up like all my characters at the beginning, I pretty much, once I got to like chapter 4 or something like that, I pretty much got more of the getting like maxing out all the classes. But to go through all that and still be able to enjoy it after 70 hours, like, that is one of those, it's tough to do, because you know how, like, you get bored of just building up your character. No, I didn't get bored of building up my characters. It was fun. It was a fun game.
Yeah, well, that game, I spent the whole chapter 1 unlocking all the classes.
I would say my only gripe about that with building up characters is, like, I really wanted to play with Mosquito, but by the time I got him on my team, my character's already 99. So it's like I didn't want to go through and rebuild them back up and stuff like that. So I just started using my own builds to try to beat the game. So
yeah, the one gripe I have in that game is that the enemies scale to your level. So it's like it makes it harder to build up a like high level character. So I wish that they would have just kept it at like different zone areas would be at a certain range.
Do you have like going in next year? Do you have a wish list of a game that if you're waiting for in 2026, or if you like have on your backlog that you really want to play and get through the platinum and stuff like that?
Well, I'm a big RPG fan, so it's probably going to be some other RPG. once I finish the Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I'm starting 2. So once I finish that one, I'm thinking about either going back to Octopath Traveler 2 so I can start Octopath 0. And then, or I was thinking about starting the Lunar collection. Because all these old games that are coming out with collections are bringing back too much nostalgia for me.
They, and they are, and I think a lot of them get good. But the only problem though with Lunar is, you got to get a new one if your collection.
Well, I would get it digitally. There's actually that would probably be the game I'd work for.
There's actually, because I got a couple of platinum goals for next year, which I won't spoil too much because it's gonna be a video soon. But one of my platinum goals is I want to try to complete, franchises that I haven't got to be able to complete. One of them I can give a clue because I don't know if it's going to be in the video, but the Atelier series. So the new one that they just released, Resolina. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. That one looked good. So I want to get through that game and play through that. And so I'm hoping to go back to, I got the Lula. I still have that one installed, so I want to go through, finish that game, go through each of the series and finish them. But like with RPGs, as you saw, some of those take 60 hours, and I ain't got that time. So,
all right. So we talked about the Game Awards. So if you didn't watch it, it was a 4-hour fest of reveals and everything
I fell asleep during
on there. So. Were you shocked by anything, and was there anything that you were excited about?
I was a little shocked. I think the only thing I was really shocked about is Expedition 33 did not sweep every category. They lost the one to, I can't remember if it was Hades 2, who they lost. I think it was Hades 2. But other than that, like, they swept. They didn't sweep the category, but also too, like, when you're looking at it, and I think I think it made it easier because a lot of the games that Expedition 33 were going up against were sequels. So it's kind of hard to say that a sequel would be a game of the year because you've already basically played the previous one. Expedition 33, I believe, should have won all the awards because it's a great game. I did not see a flaw.
It broke the record of the most awards that won.
Well, like, here's the thing, like, I didn't see a flaw in the game. There were a couple things I did not like, but that wasn't really a flaw. That was personal preference. Like, I would give you an example, no mini-map. I like the mini-map, and they didn't have it in there, so I think I'm going to sneeze. Continue talking.
Yeah, so my surprise was that Clair Expedition actually won. Because how the Game Awards works is it's from the developers get to go, so all the industries that make games get to vote on what it was. And so I was expecting it to be more of like Ghost of Yotai or Death Stranding 2 and stuff like that, because those are more like Sony and all this stuff like that. And everybody says that Jeff Keighley's a Sony boy, so I was expecting more of that. And a lot of the categories that were going up against Clair Expedition, I was like, they should win. They should win in this like best RPG or whatever like that. But I was also like, yeah, they may not give it to Clair Expedition because since the industry picks. Now, if it was like the people that actually buy the games, the consumers that picked it, probably Clair Expedition probably would have swept the whole entire.
They wouldn't, because remember, they had the one category with it was like fans pick, and they picked that Wuthering Waves or whatever it's called. But I think also what it was a little tough because a lot of the games that were nominated were like games that came out in the back half of the year. So you really don't have, like, how can you say something like, well, Ghost of Yotai came out October, right? So you can say that game's game of the year within 2 months.
I know. Like it really.
Death Stranding came out in June, so you could say Expedition 33 came out like April-ish. So you could say that those games are game of the year, but I think it was Hollow Knight, is it?
Yeah, the other one. Yeah.
It just came out like probably like a couple weeks before. Like, how can you say that these games are game of the year if they've only been out like less than a month for some of these?
Yeah.
Well, and then I guess I'm saying that, and Final Fantasy Tactics is my game of the year and came out in September, but like, how could you say though that I think it's a little tough because you got to think when they're doing the awards and your game is nominated and it came out like a week ago.
Yeah, because you got to think that if that was to win, that means that was the best game in that category.
Yeah.
Out of all these other games that came out for it.
would have won. It's like it's been out a month. Old.
Yeah,
but
or if like how you said like the Hollow Knight, the Silk Song one, like if that would have won like best RPG, let's say, then it was like, how is that the best RPG that barely came out? There was way more better.
And you got to think too, Expedition 33. Not only they like broke all-time record, they right now have changed the RPG industry because you got to think about
well, like Square Enix, they said, oh, turn-based. Nobody likes turn-based RPGs. Everybody likes the action stuff like Demon Souls and stuff.
Did a hybrid of. They did a little bit of action where you have to do the blocking and things like that, which is a little hybrid, as well as the turn-based. I could sit there and figure out what I want to do, which is what I like because I'm not good at. I'm getting old to the point where my mind doesn't remember. Like, hit this button, hit this. And that's why I'm terrible at the
doing
fighting
like
games.
the dodges and stuff like that.
With like something like this, okay, now it's the enemy's turn. You have to still be sitting there and dodging and things like that. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool concept of it. And
I can see Final Fantasy doing
and
that.
you had to figure out, do I hit the dodge or do I do the block? So you had to figure out which one
and
it
then
is.
Then they added that like jump dodge, and now you're like, now I got to block, dodge, or jump.
So you got to watch the enemy of what it is,
and then it rewards you for doing it successfully. So I think that would do, but I think because I was thinking about this with Final Fantasy, I think the best way that they would be able to, I think they should copy how to do this, but I think the story, they need to change the story of more. Like, I think of, like, the Crystal Chronicles, like, you're going after the crystals, but bring it more back to, like, a Final Fantasy 9 kind of feel, is what I was thinking that they should do for 17, and build that as their next game, where you play as, like, 4 characters, turn-based, you can do the whole blocking mechanics and all that, but, like, your story is based off you're going after the crystals and, things like that, because you don't really see that one too much of them, where it's like, oh, look, we got the crystal, and then, the crystals are used, kind of I think of like Final Fantasy IV, when they took all the crystals, and then they use the crystals too. So something like that, I think, just being able to write the story more of what you saw of like pre-10 and earlier. I think if they wrote the story like that, I think they could get back in there with selling the numbers.
Yeah, for 17.
For 17.
I also thought that what was crazy for Expedition 33 is that like a lot of people who talked about this game didn't really play this game. They were just like, oh yeah, this is a great game, blah blah blah, but they never really played with it because they didn't understand. Like, for instance, like when the producers and the creators of Expedition 33 came up on stage, they were wearing like the French garb, and so a lot of people were like, why are they wearing the French garb on there? But it's like, if you actually played the game, you see that they were, that all the characters had one of those costumes there, or they were like the mimes and stuff. So it's like, that's how you could tell whether the people were actually played the game or just talks like they play the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of these big YouTube channels claim that they played the game, but you could clearly tell when the Game Awards was that they didn't.
My whole thing is, I think if you could give a review and you played like 10, 15 hours, great. You played, but if you played like the demo, which is let's say less than 5 hours, you can't really give your review on less than 5 hours you played, because
you can only give it on what the demo was.
You didn't really put in a work day of playing the game. So I feel like if it, like, let's say a work day, 10 hour, let's say you put in a 10 hour day, that's like a work day, 8 to 10 hours. I would say then you could actually say that, like, you could write a review on it, because you put in like a work day. Basically, if it's your job to review games, you put in a work day to review a game. So I think like a game like this, you should put it in 8 to 10 hours, play it. You like it, you don't like it, then give your review.
I'm going to stop talking about this game because there's so much good to say. We'll go to the next one, but last thing I have to say...
Here's what they won.
Yeah. But last thing I have to say about it is, like, my favorite character in the game was Gustav. And
Gustav was terrible.
What happened at the end of Act 1, I was not even expecting it at all. And with that twist that had happened, I was like... Wow, this game really did that, and I was like, part of me was like,
I mean, you can ruin it now. Game's almost been out a year.
It was like part of me was kind of mad because I was like,
and you started crying.
No, I didn't cry, but I was like, Gustav had the whole section of skills that were locked, so I'm like, okay, you're gonna probably get them back through the game. But you never got him back in the game.
But
after that part,
think about how much they promoted him.
Yes.
In the game.
And he's only there for Act 1.
And like you didn't really understand. Like then you got Verso, and I always kept thinking when I was playing through, oh, Verso's just Gustav, but like, you know, like a different form of Gustav. Like, oh, Gustav really didn't die, but it's a really like, I thought that they were gonna, you know, pull like an angle like that.
Yeah, like I thought that they were like, oh, well, that Gustav that you knew wasn't really Verso. Gustav. That was
because like, Verso just appeared. Like you didn't hear about him through that whole entire chapter.
Yep, like nobody said, hey, there's survivors in here, and there's this one guy like that you didn't know. But one thing that they did reveal at the Game Awards was for Resident Evil Requiem, they revealed Leon Kennedy, which wasn't too big of a surprise to us, especially if you've been you know, watching our channel and stuff like that, is because there's been leaks throughout the whole year that said that Leon was in it. Then there was that leak of there was a costume for him, and then they kept denying it. And then there was the leak of, oh, they show the costume for this other character, and everybody kept saying, you know, the producers were like, oh no, he ain't in this, he's not in this. And then they were like, oh yeah, the one rumor was like, this is his swan song. And
yeah, they were all talking about like, oh well, those pictures you saw were all AI and stuff. No, like look at I don't know if this is the true cover, but you see the Kennedy in the background.
Well, this one here is going to be the true, I think, the cover of it. But they said that even this picture got leaked on the PlayStation Network for you to pre-order it, and then they had to take it off real quick. So obviously Leon was in it, but they wanted to reveal it at the Game Awards before they did it.
But that's the thing, though. It's like, do you think that, so if your game is going to be promoted around Grace Ashcroft, do you think that she's strong enough for you to, as a character, to be able to promote, for you to be able to say, oh, Leon's not in this game. Leon's not in this game.
Well, apparently not, because they had to have Leon in this game.
And then, like, you keep pushing her as, like, the main character. And then people are all
she's probably gonna go. She's probably gonna be a main character going forward.
They have to get somebody, but that's where I'm saying it's like, if she's strong enough as a character, then you don't need Leon, which is why I think that they have Leon in there, because they don't think she is as good. But you know,
or they're doing it to try to pass the torch.
They more than likely probably would. I think. You know, it's probably what's going to happen is if this is Leon's swan song, then what's going on here is she's going to have to kill him.
That's what was going to be my next question. Does he die in this game, yes or no?
You know, I'm going to say no.
You don't think so?
You're going to think he dies in this game.
But
he doesn't.
You don't think so?
I don't think he does.
I think he will. I think that they're going to finally end the story on there. Because
doesn't make sense.
No, the reason why I think so is because this game's been so long, so many years, and it's like, yes, he's a popular character and stuff like that, but a lot of the times they got to get rid of these popular characters to have, you know, other characters. But then again, what do I know? Because Dragon Ball Z, Goku died so many times on there, and they could have promoted like Gohan and all these other characters up on there.
But the thing
and
about
keep bringing Goku back.
is you got to think like they can do it where Leon just doesn't go on assignments or do anything anymore. Like you don't really have to kill him off.
Like he retires.
You could be like he passes a torch and be like, I'm getting too old for this, and then I give it to you, Grace, and then like go away. But you got to think because if Leon is this popular and you kill him off, like that could hurt your franchise because people don't. Going forward, might be like, yeah, I don't care playing with Grace. Like she was terrible in this.
It didn't kill Expedition 33,
and so, but that's the thing though. It's like Expedition 33 is the first game you really.
I mean, if they kill Leon, then they got to go after Chris and Claire and
Jill. What's going to happen there? So that's where I think he's not going to die, but he's.
The second question: do you think he's the bad guy? Because here's what I was thinking of the way that maybe he dies is that he gets affected by the virus, and then so he transforms into like the new Wesker, and so he's gonna go. He like may not die per se, but he's transformed into the new Wesker, so he's gonna be the protagonist for the rest of the the series when they make the other Resident Evils, and so I think that he'll get the Resident Evil virus on it and he'll turn evil. So now she has to make the decision: am I going to kill this legendary guy, or am I going to let him live? See, and I think that one would dramatically change Resident Evil.
I think you're partially right because I think he gets infected, but it's like towards the end, it's where he has to leave to go get the cure for the infection, which is how then they could send him off.
Well, I think
so she's
the doctor, so she's probably she has to find that cure for the virus.
But that's where I think it's like they'll send him off. Like he's on a remote island, and he meets up with Christian Sheva, and they go on a remote island someplace so he doesn't, he can find the cure of what they're looking for because she's going to have to use a cure. She's going to have to make the decision to use a cure on him or somebody else. And
her mom.
On somebody else. Like, that's where I think that they're going to. Which I do think it's weird, though, because they're pushing Grace, which is, like... I'm not big on the story, so I couldn't, like, really tell you too much for Grace Ashcroft, but it's, like... It's weird to see that, like, you have her in there, and that she's a new protagonist compared to the other games that you had, the other people. So I know you're testing out, like, new people.
It's not weird, because she's from,
and she's somebody's kid.
Yeah, she's from the, Revelation? Yeah.
I have that one, I just bought recently. Yeah. I gotta play it through.
And so what I was, thinking...
Also includes Leon's costume for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. So what also about this one here is I also think that with Leon in here, like they said that when you play as Leon, he's going to be more action like he is in 5 and 6. She's going to be more of the survivor horror that you know to love. So I could see that going forward where if they bring in like the legacy characters, that they're going to be more action and stuff like that. But I really think that they're probably... Like, I think going forward, they may even do this as... This is part 1. So then it'll be like Resident Evil 2 now. But it's Requiem 2. And then Requiem 3, like, this is the new... It's kind of like how they did with Call of Duty. Where they're like... Oh, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and then they rebooted it. Modern Warfare 12.
It's great, though, to see that they actually, finally admitted that Leon's in there. And we could put all, to rest. Gotta wait a couple months to be able to get the game, but...
And then also, I thought it was cool with this one is that they, like, revived the franchise. Because people were already mad that Resident Evil 6 went into... the action. It was pretty much like more of an action game than the horror game. And so people didn't like it. So then they went back to the horror in 7, and that scared the pants out of most people. So then they ended up, okay, we're going to go back onto that. So 8 was there, and then a lot of people were like, we need like the old characters, like we like that. So then they remade 1, remade 2, and all those ones, and people wanted
See, but that's how
that's why Leon.
I think that's how you do your remake. Is like 1 year you do a remake, the next year you release a game. Like how Tales was starting to do the Tales of games. Like I think that's how Final Fantasy should do something like that. If they want to remake one of their old school games, they should remake it and then years later bring out a new kind of new one, because this is what Resident Evil did. They brought out a new one and then they're like, we're gonna remaster 4. So then you get used to 4 a little bit and then we're gonna give you this, and now they say, I believe I read some place they said they have Code Veronica X is gonna be one of the next ones, and then there's a second game they said in there that they're going to also remaster.
Hopefully 5 and 6.
It wasn't 5 or 6 in that one.
Okay, so our next one, Capcom. They said awesome. Going forward, they're going to be making games from Mega Man, Ace Attorney, and Devil May Cry because they said that there were their legacy ones on there. What's absent is most of their franchise games of like, Breath of Fire and stuff like that. But they did at the Game Awards drop a new Mega Man trailer, which would be what, Mega Man 12 probably, if they even are numbering.
I don't think they're going to number it. So I don't think so, because was it dual override?
Dual override or whatever. Yeah,
which it seems like from what I was hearing, it's like you could create your own enemy. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that.
Create your own enemy.
That's what I heard someplace. I don't know if that's true. Like, I wonder if it's going to be like a create your own type of Mega Man boss.
That's what I was hearing. That would be dumb.
I was hearing something about that. I don't know.
I don't think that would be good. I don't know if that's
true, but that's why you can override.
I thought it was that because his powers in 11 was an override thing where it slowed down time.
Actually, there's so many games I gotta get through.
And so this one here, I thought it was just going to be an expansion of that, where he can override. So is the Devil May Cry,
though? Are they going to have the DMC? Devil May Cry, or they're gonna have Devil May Cry
the regular
6?
Devil May Cry. But what I'm wondering is if they're going to do the Resident Evil route, where they're gonna remake Devil May Cry 1 and remake that game, and then up there, because I mean, if you play it now, like the graphics on that is horrible, so it would need a good reshine.
Yeah.
So if Capcom does that route of remaking that and then bringing out like Devil May Cry 6, then remaking 2, bringing out Devil May Cry 7.
But you got to think Devil May Cry,
3, and then
the reason why it's popular right now is because the way that the games are with action games is the reason why this game's popular. Because you think when like 4 came out, it was like or whatever, like not as big.
4 didn't like it because you played as Dante was like the second character, and people didn't like it. For it. Plus, like, people just want to play as Sparta. They don't really care too much about these other characters. But when you play with this stories, you find out why this happens and what, happens of Sparta and all that kind of stuff like that. So I think that they will remake Resident Evil. I keep saying that. Devil May Cry. I'm wondering, though, if they're going to do Devil May Cry in the story chronology or in the game chronology, because if they remake it, they'd have to remake 3 first, because 3 was the young Dante, young Virgil, and how they went to being enemies and stuff like that, and then it goes to 1, then 2.
So you could be correct, because like I'm reading the article here, it says Capcom owns a wealth of popular brands through the name. They want to improve our performance through new releases, remakes, and ports of titles in the series to new hardware. So that means that they could release, remake a Devil May Cry, remake a Mega Man X, things like that. They could port, which I'm hoping that they do, maybe do a whole remake of Mega Man Legends and port like 1, 2, and Tron Bond.
I mean, they have to at some point, because the only way you can play those games are on the OG PlayStation, and so. Like, I'm always for getting games off of consoles that you can't play anymore, or that you can't hook up really too much, so that then it can stay, like they can keep making more, or
give it
that
more life
gives
to
you
the audience.
Gives you a chance to actually play it, so you don't have to, find a CRT TV or find some way of being able to play with the legal way, and not like downloading like ones off the internet that this is a ROM and stuff like that.
Have you played Ace Attorney? I've never played the game.
I played it for the DS here and there. It's to me, I didn't really like it.
You didn't like it?
It's more of like the ones where doing the different trials and you're like, oh, but wait, we got this evidence, and then it's like it's kind of like, to me, kind of reminds me of a Persona game. So it's like you have like so much time to try to get the evidence to, like defend your person and get the other one. So you're walking around, you have so much time to like interrogate, get your evidence, go through paperwork, try to find all this stuff like that, so that then you can defend your person and stuff like that. Like it's fun for some people, but like I just thought it was okay. It's not one of those ones that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the best. But apparently everybody likes it. Devil May Cry 5 for me was alright. It wasn't really like
it wasn't the best in the series.
It wasn't the best in the series. And like V was annoying, even though I know why they did the V, but I thought it was just annoying. But see,
this one they show like a different Dante, so that's why I'm wondering if they're going to do it like a DMC.
That's a Dante.
Isn't that Dante?
No.
I thought that was a Dante from DMC.
No.
No?
You never Virgil, played that? Huh? You never played that? That's not a Virgil, that's Nero.
That's Nero, see?
Yeah. You remember, there's the mechanical arm.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Yeah.
I thought that was the remember they made him the emo?
No.
I thought that's what they were showing.
No.
So, that's my bad.
That was a different company that made that.
Anyway. Edit that one out.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll edit that one out. On our next story is...
I guess we'll end it because it's a two kind of...
Yeah, so the next one they said that, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 didn't really do so hot with their sales. It didn't beat out Battlefield 6, but they're saying that they vow going forward to not bring like the franchise every year.
They admit that the franchise is not met and vow to over deliver moving forward.
Yes. So basically what they're saying is, instead of all their companies making Call of Duty every year, they're going to try to go back to their old formula of Sledgehammer will do this year, the other company, whatever,
Infinity War, whoever
will do
Treyarch.
We'll do it the next year. So it'll be like each company will have like 2 years basically before they go redo it.
Here's the thing, though, I saw, which we'll jump into the next one with that because it both fits in. But they said, moving forward, it will not deploy back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops games, which then means to me that we saw this article here, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer is reportedly a complete copy of Modern Warfare 2.
Basically, they just lied.
Which they say that seems to debunk the major point of blah, blah, blah. So they
pretty much just lied.
But here's my thing. If it's a 2026 game, and all you got is Modern Warfare and all you got is Black Ops, what are you doing? Like, is that all you got left when you're thinking of a game? Oh, what are we going to do? Let's do a Black Ops 15. Because you gotta think, when they released the Modern Warfare and they had the trilogy, it was like, okay, you finished the trilogy, it was done, we're trying something new now. You waited every year they were releasing something new. Oh, they released Black Ops in between the Modern Warfare trilogy. Okay, great. Now you had you kind of had your trilogy, but then when you started pushing a 4, now a re-release. So technically, if this Modern Warfare 4 comes out, that's a 7th in the series. And you got to think this Black Ops 7 is 8th in the series. Technically, if you consider Cold War part of the Black Ops,
I think the Cold War would be more of the World at War.
Called Black Ops, wasn't it called Cold War? Like Black Ops.
I think it was just Modern Warfare. The Cold War.
So if it is Modern Warfare 4, like, you got to think. Somebody from Activision, like if you got stock or something, shouldn't you at some point be like, okay, you need to come up with something new?
Yeah, because also
you're still selling tons
there was already a Modern Warfare 4. It was called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. So
but
it's
this one's called Modern Warfare 4.
I know, so that's why they
the whole Madden naming when they named 25.
25, and now that.
But like that's the thing, like when you talk about, you want to talk about like worth companies, and everybody's always talking about EA. Like, you got to think of a company like this that all I'm going to do is reskin something else, send it out, and people are going to buy it because they like the Call of Duty franchise. Like, you haven't come up with anything good.
But see, like, what I've been saying on this channel for the longest time when all this Call of Duty stuff comes up is, in my opinion, I think they should just focus on having the multiplayer, having the zombies. Those are the two popular ones. The single player is always a hit and miss. I don't even think that they should just focus on that. Have the little hub like they did with Call of Duty Elite.
The hub's not that good.
And have the hub and just add those games to it like they're DLCs basically. Mm-hmm. And so then if you want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, the OG one, then you click on that hub, brings up the game, mm-hmm. you can go and get that game. You want to play the multiplayer for that, so that then they don't have to do it. The only reason why they put all those in there is because, like what you were saying before, is they want to justify the $90 game or the $80 game or $71. They feel that if they just bring out the multiplayer, just bring out the zombies, or bring out their Warzone, that like they can't charge the high amount. Which
Warzone's
I don't think that's true. I think that if they monetize each of the ones there, then it could be.
You think how much they're making Warzone off of skins?
Because like I don't think that they should like make it where it all transfers over to each of them, because they can make more money where it's like Modern Warfare hub only has Modern Warfare weapons, only has mm-hmm. Modern Warfare skins. Then if you wanted to play zombies, that's a different one, so that you pay more for that, so it's not coherent. And then Warzone does all that.
You think about that, though. I recently just downloaded the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the remaster mm-hmm. that they gave us. Like, I played it for an hour or so because I was, just looking for a game to take a break from, or my 30 for 30. And I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed playing that, going back and playing it. Now I've been watching videos of this guy playing old school Modern Warfare 2. And I was like, I want to go back and try it on the PS3 when I have some time. Go back and play it and see if I remember how it is, because mm-hmm. I was like, that is the true Call of Duty. I think that's when I was in the peak of Call of Duty. Because once Black Ops 2 came out, I did not like Black Ops 2 like as much mm-hmm. with the zombies and things. Zombies for Black Ops 1, I was able to get through, but I slowly stopped playing, like got really into the Call of Duties after Black Ops 2. I played Ghost. I thought Ghost was really good. Like in my opinion, I thought it was a good one, but Advanced Warfare, I didn't think it was as good as Ghost, but it was still manageable. That like you got me sucked into play. But then once you did like a Black Ops 3 and the way you designed it, I was done. Like I pretty much, once they started releasing, it was like a Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. And then you got to think they tried their World War II. It was okay. Like I never played it, but some people, there was reception mm-hmm. of it was good. Vanguard people did not like. Cold War some people liked.
Ghost.
So like you got to think. I think that some of these games back in the... And I think that's the thing, too. It's like... Because you got people who stream this game every year, play this game every year. They don't care because it's a Call of Duty. So they don't care for Modern Warfare.
Well, see, most of them don't even play single player, because if you followed the Call of Duty franchise over the years, you saw that the story started to suck mm-hmm. later on and later on.
Getting terrible.
It's because the writers, like, they couldn't come up with anything. Because most of these had to do with, like... The zombies were only popular is because back in Call of Duty, what was the first?
World at War.
Was it World at War?
World at War was the first one.
So they had where you killed the Nazi zombies and stuff like that. Was pretty popular. That became super popular. So mm-hmm. then they were like, okay, all these games do it. I never really liked the zombies. I always liked where you had the Spec Ops, or where you had... where the soldiers just came by and you had waves that you had to just beat that. Like, I liked that better. Mm-hmm. The zombies one to me made it where it was like, oh, this is the game. This isn't like, Modern War or anything like that. So like the zombies never like took for me. And then when they did the Extraction, I thought the Extraction was fun. Mm-hmm. Even though it still made it where it's a game. But when they put it in, I think it was Advanced Wars, where it was like, I thought, oh, maybe there's no zombies in here. But when you had that last level
10 or whatever
where you had to get out of the thing, and you had the little hover
after you.
And all the zombies came out. I was like, this is dumb. Mm-hmm. And then what also made Call of Duty dumb in the later years is they were trying to make more like futuristic stuff. So they did wall run because Titanfall did it, and this is the Call of Duty problem, is they can't innovate and make their stuff new, so they go and they copy other franchise. So like Warzone was created because Fortnite is super popular. Mm-hmm. The wall running when they had it before was because Titanfall had a wall run, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is fun. Oh, this mechanic fun." So they copy it. So it's like now, like the current Call of Duty is skins, which you're a first person shooter. How are you? Why are you buying skins? Like you can't. The only thing you see is your gun.
Show it off when I'm
I can see it on your gun, but do I really need like, Jay and Silent Bob skins or Beavis and Butthead skins or whatever, running around doing it in like the little worlds and stuff like that? Like no, because you're a first person shooter. Now, if they put you as a third person, I can see that because you're seeing it, just kind of like in Fortnite, where you could be a Power Ranger, or you can be a dragon or whatever like that. Like you can actually see your character. So buying those skins, like that makes sense. But for something that's a first person shooter, that makes no sense at all on why you would do it, unless only for your guns. Like your guns wouldn't make sense because you're seeing that while you're going around for it, but everything else is dumb.
This is true. You're just rehashing the Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, and then it's technically like the fourth one there too if you did the other.
So it's like I think that they. And I think what might actually happen though is Call of Duty could get better, considering that if Battlefield 6 does continue to own it. Because you guys think it's like the Madden problem. They don't really have competition. So they can give you the same boring game.
Well, I mean, Battlefield came back.
Battlefield came back, made a great game, and then people were like, well, why would I want to play the same game every year when I play Battlefield that's like breathing life back into the FPS genre?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I could play this and do all that. Like, why would I play Call of Duty if... Like, Call of Duty is known for the name.
Yeah.
But Battlefield's actually...
And that's why, like, it's still going to sell because there's those fanboys that will buy it just because it says Call of Duty on there. It could be Call of Duty card game, and then they're going to be like, okay, I'm buying this. I'm going to go play the multiplayer on the card game. Like, whatever you slap Call of Duty for is going to sell. And that's why, everybody does it. But if, like, in a gaming perspective, like... It's the same thing over and over again. It's just like with Madden. Like the only difference with Madden is it's a new roster every year.
But really, update the same roster.
Yeah, really, they could just do the same thing that I suggest Call of Duty do. Just make a Madden hub, make it maybe improve the graphics on it, or do the different Maddens on there, and you can play it, update it with the roster, and have
Call
the
of Duty should test it like somewhere in the middle of their life cycle of their other game. To release where it's just like a zombies, or something like that, where it's like $20 zombies and see how many people buy it. Because then they can test it to see whether or not they can release a full game one year and then like a spin off on the next year or something like that.
Or do like expansion. Like I think like maybe if you want to keep your game alive, do like a Fortnite and have your seasons, but you have the one game, the one hub, and then there's all those packs that you go in and buy. So if you instead of having Call of Duty Modern Warfare 12, 20, or whatever like that, just do Call of Duty, Warfare, and then every year you just do like seasons and stuff like that. Because I
still can't believe they got 7 Black Ops.
Like look at
that's crazy.
Diablo, like Diablo 4 now. It's like there may or may not be a fifth one, but like they do seasons every.
Well, they'll have a fifth one on the next console.
Yeah, but they do seasons all the time, and then they have like a new character. Like they revealed the new Paladin class, which makes it where I want to go play it again because I like the Crusaders from the third one.
Call of Duty though, it's like still at its peak, or do you think it's?
I think.
Do you think like that Modern Warfare, kind of the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare era, Black Ops 1, all those ones were like it's peaking now, they've gone down, or do you think that it's trending up?
I think once they went past 3, it went downhill because I didn't need a Black Ops 4. Like you ended the story in Black Ops 3.
You didn't really need a 3 either.
Yeah,
but you didn't really need a 2. 2, the way that they did 2 for the story wasn't as good. I thought the multiplayer was great.
This is why I said that they should just ditch the story mode.
Because
the single player.
They did it where it was like, if I remember correctly, it was like you had to play through it multiple times, but it was like you had to choose 2 different sides, and it was kind of like you complete one branching arc, which isn't a Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty, you basically play the story and you finish it and you're good and you're done. But I felt like they pushed all these kind of like they were trying to branch off to different things, but their online was really good. But I also think their online, they do a lot of this, like, too many times they got Nuketown going on. And then when Shipment was really popular in 4, too many times did you have Shipment or Pipeline. Like, how many times you got to keep rehashing that same thing over and over and over again?
Like, you could have just kept it in, like, okay, these maps were popular in Modern Warfare, we're keeping it in Modern Warfare. These maps were popular in Black Ops, we'll do that. But they also need to come up with new ones. And I think that this is why, if you keep bringing it out every single year, it's going, like, your diminishing of returns is going to go down.
Yeah, your
and I think that they've already lost a lot of the OG, like, people.
I think so.
Because, like, the ones that are, because I mean, if you kind of,
a lot of us got older.
No, but also if you kind of look at, like how you said you played Modern Warfare 4 or Modern Warfare, but Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty 4, the remastered.
Like, there was a bunch of people online still playing it. So you see that people like that game over the newer stuff.
It was fun. I mean, I still got owned in that game, but I didn't know what my class... Like, I had one gun that I was sitting there playing... I had no clue for the other stuff that I was playing, but it was fun. I was using, like, the G3 or something, which was my favorite gun during that time of Call of Duty. But it was like, in this one, they added tokens, and you could buy, like, the different skins and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool, because I was like, for me, it's always wanting to grind out to the end levels. Like, I remember when they had 10 levels, and now it's, like, probably, like, 50.
And I think that was, like, the most hackable game, too. Everybody wanted to say that they 10th prestige, so they have that emblem on there. So everybody
did it.
So everybody would hack that and be like, "Oh yeah, I did this."
That would probably be like, if you could run how many hours you played in a game on PS3. I think it'd be Call of Duty and White Knight Chronicles would be up there for my games of most hours spent of just playing a game. But
yeah, so that's why I think that if Call of Duty wants to continue to survive and not just hope that the people that are going to buy just because it says Call of Duty, like, if they want to innovate, they need to just make a hub and just put the Call of Duties on. Like, they kind of did that with the PS5 version, where it was like PS5 didn't have a platinum, they just had trophies on it, but the PS4 had the platinum. Like, they should have just did it like that, where kind of like Final Fantasy 14, where it's like you have the base game, and then they bring out expansions, and they just keep adding expansion, and it could be a whole full game.
It could be, yeah.
But it's all the expansion, and then if you look at them, they're charging like $40, $50 for this expansion, and it continues the longevity of your game. That way, there, I think, is what you could do there. Ditch the single player game. Don't do that, because majority of people do not even play. They buy Call of Duty for the multiplayer. They don't buy Call of Duty for the story. I've never heard people go, "Man, I got to get the next Call of Duty because that story was popping last the game and stuff." Like, oh, this game is this story mode. It's like, I always hear the person is like, "Yeah, my kill DR and ratio in the multiplayer, like it's 0.1 and like."
I always laugh too because people are like, if you don't have like a 2 to 1, like, don't even join my team. And I'm like, well, I'm not joining your team because
people wanted the multiplayer. That's all that they play, or they'll play the zombies and they play it on there. I've never seen everybody's like, "Yeah, I bought this game because the single player is the best thing in the game." So, but yeah, that's all the stories that we have that we brought to you today, including our Game of the Year, Expedition 33. Put down in the comments what your Game of the Year is, what's your favorite thing about the Game Awards, and whether you agree with the Call of Duty debacle. Do you think that they should get rid of the single player and just focus on the multiplayer? Do the hub thing like I was saying? Or you're going to continue to buy the Call of Duty because you think the Call of Duty is like the bee's knees and you're going to do that over Battlefield. So just do that. Like always, we do this every week. So hopefully, like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 10 by the end of the year. We only have like a week or two left. We're currently at 7. So thanks for the 7th person that subscribed to our channel on there. But yep, I'm Dark Knight 316. This is the Roundtable Podcast. This is Robert Wheeler Gaming. He has his Robert's Roundup
every Fridays.
So click in and subscribe to our channels, and we'll see you in the next one.
God bless you guys. Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Yeah, if we don't see you. Yeah.
Modern Warfare, man. Ooh, there's a lot of them.